Yo, what's good on the web? Your man Q back again, and it's been such a long time. I don't even really know where to start. I know for those of y'all who've been following for the last 3 months or some change, I'm gonna say since April, I really started putting the grindstone in a lot more. I said what I was gonna do, and I did it. Well, it's been 2-3 years in the making, like real talk. But let me check and see if this is actually working and recording before I go on, because I haven't. Yeah. So yeah, what had happened was it was working. I just didn't have the music on. Let me turn this down a little bit on this end so it doesn't do too much. But I think I'm slick, because what I was going to do is I had a video scheduled a while ago, but what happened was I was doing some other stuff. I was working on some other stuff. I was in the lab with a few more things. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get on here and talk, because I hadn't got on here with y'all in a long time and talk, and I wanted to like give y'all an update of what I've been doing and where I've been in X, Y, and Z. And I'm not talking about Pokemon. Unlike popular belief, like everybody else in the United World, I almost said states, but in the world, I have not been playing Tears of the Kingdom. Why? Well, I'm gonna give y'all some hot, quick facts, real quick, fast, in a hurry. No story, no Zelda, and I feel like I'm playing Breath of the Wild Part 2. Literally, the game is great. I played the game. I mean, I'm a day oneer. I mean, there has not been a Zelda. I think the only Zelda that escaped me, a console Zelda that escaped me, was that I didn't get day one, was Twilight Princesses, which is one of the ones I do need to go back and beat, which is heralded and regarded as one of the greatest Zeldas, if not the greatest Zelda of all time. But I didn't have time to play Tears of the Kingdom, because for those of y'all who know me, you know that how I get with Xenoblade and these open world games, and one of the reasons why I can't play Skyrim or other open world games and things like that, because I want to do everything. I am a side quest king, especially if the side quest actually has something worth it. And I don't mean like some bogus blue ribbon item, unless that blue ribbon also is like the ribbon, the pink one on Final Fantasy, that allows you to, you know, basically not be handicapped by any status effect. No, I'm talking about like you go and you're talking to some random person where you had to go find a cat through a cave, through another cave that led down a sewer, that you had to go and fight all these enemies and bosses that made no sense why they're there, and then you come back and you get a lollipop. What the hell? This ain't a Lil Wayne song, lollipop. Now, like, you gotta give me a Mazamoon or something, the Master Blade. I know, I said Master Blade. Or something. I can't be out here doing all this other stuff for nothing. And to be real with y'all, that's how I kind of feel about Tears of the Kingdom. I'm gonna go back and play it, but it hit me right in the time where I'm gearing up for Final Fantasy 16, which, hoping that game's gonna be better than I want it to be, because my expectations for Final Fantasies have lowered over the years, ever since 13 and you know, the godfather of Final Fantasy, Sakaguchi. People always getting on me. Forget it. I mean, look, I'm black. I don't know how to say Japanese names like that. Forgive me, okay? I get so many corrections. You're butchered. Listen, you know how many people butcher Quentin? My name is Quentin. Quentin. Not Quinton, not Quentin, Quincy. How do you see Quinton and you still call me Quincy? So I understand how people will feel. But most of the folks that's telling me about this is the same people who used to call Midgar Majar. Anyway, forgive me. Do I got to roll on my R's like when I was dating Latina? Anyway. What I've been doing is videos. You know, one thing, that's how life is. It's like a cake, and it's like a pizza. And for those of y'all, I'm not hungry. Actually, I've been in that lab too, working out, trying to get my, you know, my fit on, not for the summer, but just because, well, health is wealth, and we only got this one avatar. That's it. And the more levels we get, the more wear and tear this avatar gets. So think about that. Put it in video games terms. But I've been like developing these. I haven't even had really time to work on my game as much. And the reason why I brought up life is because sometimes it's with work, with life, with family, with friends, with all the other external things that's pulling forces from you. It's hard to kind of like delegate tasks even to yourself of what you need to do. So lately I started off the whole thing saying that I started off the video basically saying that I wanted to get on here and discuss what I had been doing and why the reasons that I had certain gaps in certain things, as in I've been doing content creation more here on the tube, but I haven't been streaming. And for those of y'all who know, I prefer doing content creation more than I do streaming. Not that I don't love my folks over on Twitter, Twitch is the tease, but I do. It's just that one begots the other, or begets the other, you know my English. And what happens is YouTube set the path for Twitch, and I'm gonna eventually come back to Twitch soon. So for those of y'all who have been like follow me on Twitch and stuff, I did kind of reformulate and reconfigure all of my stuff on Twitch to become like a hub where I was basically doing my own video game dev creation stuff with the game Beyond Fantasy. I hadn't had time to do that as much again for all these reasons. I don't want to have to repeat myself for the fourth time, but I shall return with that. What I've also been doing is the schedule I had created in 2020 is finally coming to fruition, and I'm about to make a new thing added to it, and that is going to be the podcast. So I will be bringing back Geek Talk pretty soon. I think in the immediate, it's just going to be me talking, kind of like here what I'm doing, but I'm going to do my best to have it uploaded to Apple and the SoundClouds and the X and the Y and the Z, and I already used that joke. But I'm going to be doing that on Spotify, so I am going to be taking it to do that. So I need to go back. Matter of fact, after this video, I might go back and see about uploading my old videos, the Geek Talk stuff from way back in the day up until now, to have, you know, like a little archives, a little library of stuff, so I'm not just going in at number one. I guess this will be 15, 16, 17, but I will be coming back, and I do have some friends on board that want to talk about some games and stuff. Like, everybody wants to talk about Zelda, everybody wants to talk about these new Final Fantasies, and, you know, no E3. What the difference is, I'm not sitting here going to talk only completely about games. For those of y'all who've been around since the infancy of my channel, which was April of 2016, what happened was, I was checking the time, how much I had been talking. What happened was, GEAK stands for Games, Entertainment, Anime, and Comedy. Not just all RPGs, but what happened, I should have niched down 5 years ago. But things happened the way they happened, and I've learned a lot of skills, picked up a lot of new tips, tricks, friends, allies, crew, everything else along the way. So I am where I need to be, which is right here and right now. And speaking of archives, the archives is coming back. So the archives, my date in, I've been real good with, this is just a little life hack advice that I've learned over my levels in years. Don't tell everybody all your shit. Seriously. Not because they'll take it, because people who usually generally take ideas, they can't come up with their own. So even if they take your idea, does not necessarily mean that they will execute that idea the same way that you would execute that idea. That's just what I had did a video. I was talking to a homie a matter of fact about that, about Xbox, with the acquisition of Activision. If they finally get the that's a tongue twister. If they finally get the acquisition of Activision, that doesn't mean that they're gonna do nothing with it, because they had Halo, and Halo was heralded as the best first-person shooter of all time. That's one of the reasons I still consider Halo ruining video games. It's subsided now, and it's kind of like, you know, the balance is setting back. The force is resetting itself a little bit. But at one point in time during that, 2000, 2001ish to 2000, and recently, I will say probably until 2017, around 15, for about good 15 years, first person shooters dominated everything. And they still do to a degree, but it's the same, but it's not exactly the same. See, Halo offered great gameplay with a story, and Master Chief, great characters with Katana, and him, seriously, and you really don't need too much anything else, and a whole world building and a lore that made everybody envious. And then people saying, oh well, we can make money from first person shooters, so Call of Duty, we get a COD, I almost said a CAC, we get a COD damn near every year. It's like 2K and Madden, which they've kind of fell off a little bit too. But the archives will be back. I'm looking for July for it to come back. The holiday weekend, which July 4th probably. I'm looking at aim it that way. But what I wanted to do is to have enough videos where my problem was been, which is why I've been ahead of things lately, is scheduling and keeping to a particular schedule and things. So that's going to come back on Saturdays. I want to make some promos and some bumpers and some new stuff for that. So I also had to go and beat and play some newer games, like Forspoken, which is not as bad as everybody's saying it is. Like, get off of my girl phrase back. She do be cussing in unopportune times, and I mean, like, girl, you cute, but you ain't gotta drop the F-bomb like that. Like that. But the game is nowhere near as bad as people were saying. I mean, it's a standard open world game that's starring a black woman. And really, it's not bad. Once you get to a certain, I'm not gonna get onto that. I want y'all to see the gameplay and play it. The archives is not only for people who want to play the games or watch the games. It's mainly for a lot of people who, I have a lot of friends and a lot of contemporaries and a lot of people who would like to know the story of a game, but they don't necessarily want to play the game. So the archives is basically broke up like a video or RPG version of anime. And I hadn't seen anybody doing that online ever. Maybe if I'm wrong, or somebody can tell me, or matter of fact, I don't really care now because I'm already knee deep in it. I've been doing it for over a year. But I had only made 4 episodes on a 12-hour block. And I know what y'all thinking. That's crazy, Q. Why do you want to do 12 hours? Well, I'm harkening it back all the way to my love affair with Toonami and how Toonami ushered in the anime for me. Like, I had remember Dragon Ball Z. I remember Dragon Ball Z like at 6 a.m. way early in the mornings and stuff when Raditz stole Gohan. This was in like the 95, 96-ish. And I used to live in Northern California. And it rained in Northern California. And it rained in Southern California. They lied, Tony. But I didn't know exactly what it was until Toonami dropped. And that's when they had, Sailor Moon and Tenchi Muyo and Dragon Ball and Ronin Warriors. I'm getting to the point that, Cowboy Bebop and I Lost Star. And then there was so many great animes that they had that it opened me up to a whole new world. And that's also with I'm jumping ship here, but still on the same page. The podcast is going to be about why I mentioned games, entertainment, anime, and comedy, and needing to niche all the way down to role-playing games here on the channel, which actually made me more successful when I did that. I know, I'm stubborn. I'm an Aries. Okay, fire sign. I get it. Water's my favorite element, though. But I want to talk about things like The Little Mermaid. I do want to talk about some anime. And I do want to put it in segments where if you don't like it, just skip over that part, So I want to make it user-friendly for y'all, but I do want to be able to have it where it's a way for me to gurgitate some of these things that I have inside. Look at head, shoulders, feet, and toes. I have inside of my head, and I want to get out to y'all without having to cut it, break it, edit it down on one of the many channels that I have. I do still want to do more anime stuff with Otaku and Chill, as well as other things. The archive stuff is obviously going to be going to the archives channel, and I'm talking about the channels that I'm affiliated with here that are my other channels. I do have a Geek Talk channel that I'm going to just do clips and things from the podcast there. But on Sundays, we're looking at the podcast. And that should be coming this week. If not this week, sometime in June. But it's just really me and talking, because look at the damn time already. I don't really have too much of a problem with that. I have been writing things down, and for those of y'all who are content creators or just devs and people who are techies, ChatGTP is a godsend, and I've been hearing a lot of people fear about ChatGTP because they're like, well, it just takes, the robots just doing it, the AI. Not really, because I've got scripts, I've got stories, I've got characters. If you don't have the ideas or even a concept of the idea that you want to do, it don't matter what you put into the ChatGTP, because you can bring it out, but it's going to sound robotic. You still need those ideas, those sparks to, breathe life into it. And then you use it like you do everything else, like a camera, like OBS, like, these software platforms, as a tool to get and achieve what you want. And I said that to say that I'll be more structured, because I've been using ChatGTP also to help write scripts for my videos and stuff more, which is another reason why I'm able to hurry up and write stuff. And this is my backup keyboard, my nice keyboard. It broke or something, I don't know. Excuse me, what happened to it. But archives will be on Saturdays when that releases in July. And I want enough content that's every day. If y'all don't want to watch it, you know what? I appreciate it if you do. But somebody will, and you can share it, flip it, all that other good stuff. But I want to be where the whole use and purpose of a YouTube channel or a show or a channel is, on a channel, I've said this so many times to nauseam. On a channel, there's different shows, which is why I changed the name to Geek Show from Geek, mainly because, well, I couldn't use Geek on Twitter and Twitch and everywhere else, or I probably would have just stuck with that. But the Geek Show is I have different shows. So on different days, I want different shows. As it currently stands now, I've been doing solidly well with these shorts. Mondays and Fridays, I drop the geek news. If anything crazy, amazing happens, I will go back to doing like a short, 1 minute short of, where's my sports jacket? Because I did like doing those. But I would do the geek breaking news, and then I'll just do some crazy comedic little short thing or form that way. On Tuesdays, who's that black person? For those of y'all, and most of the people who watching this video, because this is for my family, most people who watching this video aren't going to necessarily be the people who are watching, the who's that black person. But I had to take the word racist off my damn channel, because as a black man in America that has been around since way, way, way back when, in the 80s, there ain't that much representation. Yeah, we getting a few more things here and there now, but it still ain't that much. So if I want to take and make a series for 12 seconds, spotlighting and spotlighting a black character, how is that racist when I'm a black person? I had one white dude, and he's like, I'm a white guy, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to do a comment section thing, or a mail time. Like one of my favorite shows, PCI, is a sports show, pardon the interruption. Michael Wilbon, Tony Kornheiser. Anyway, I have to do it where I read some of these things to people. The dude left me a 5 freaking paragraph explanation about why he feels that I can't do reverse racism. What? Bro, if you don't like it, see ya. What am I gonna tell you? Are you angry because you can't stop it? It's not racist and you can't stop it. But anyway, I'm not gonna go down too far down the rabbit hole on that one. It wasn't that it was bothering me. It just was like they weren't affecting me. It just was stupid because I was like, well, it was kind of annoying. You know, something might not make you feel an emotion, but it still could be annoying. And just it was like, okay, but and I had a homeboy was like, well, maybe they can't. He's trying to justify he's a nice guy. He's nicer than me when it comes to that. Well, maybe they couldn't see. I said my face is black. You can see whose face it is on the little icon on the bottom of the little short. So I don't want to hear that. And if you want to hit it, and I've had some people comment and like, hey, other people respond to some people when they say that. They're like, you know he's black, right? But on Tuesdays, it's who's that black person. And thankfully, when I start seeing a little of the success with them, I double down a lot. And I start tagging them, info carding them to other videos too, which for those who are content creators, that's how you can learn to pair. Shout out to the homie Roberto Blake. I was watching him in Viper. They had this was a year ago or so when they were first talking about the shorts, when they were implementing the shorts, but when, because Instagram would start going ham on them, and then YouTube, this is a copycat league, decided that they were going to do it too. They had a 2-hour, I said a lot. See, that's what happens when you don't edit. I've been having, said it again, a 2-hour whole live stream discussing and talking about shorts and how you can link them up and pair them to things, and those have helped my analytics and things as well. So I've doubled down on those, and I would like to, it scares me because I'm like, okay, it's 54 weeks in a year. All right, I got maybe 2 or 3 years of black characters in me. Then I'm gonna have to start going. I'm gonna have to start going into real people. Who's that black person is T'Challa. I'm gonna have to go into, I have to start going into Chadwick Boseman and stuff like that. It's real people or entities and stuff like that. I might start. You'll know when I'm running out if I start sprinkling in real people in Wesley Snipes from Demolition Man. I start sprinkling him in, which might not be a bad idea either. But for now, I am content with. I got a list. I think they can hold me over until the end of the year here. So I do make those. And then on Wednesdays, as in today, I usually like to put a behind the camera or in front of the camera video like I'm doing. This one's going to be a little long, so I understand if y'all don't make it to the end. If you do, I'm much obliged, much appreciated, because I can get on and ramble and talk and update and X, Y, and Z. We ain't been that way already 2 more times. Thursdays, what the hell do I have on Thursdays? Oh, shoot. On Thursdays, I have parodies, or I'll have a parody short, or I'll have clips or experts from my Twitch channel, which is also the Geek Show if you guys want to follow when I start going back and doing that. And then, other little things like that I'll have on there. I've also took some of the parodies that I already had, the world's the most geekiest man in the world, and I made that a short, and different things like that. So that's a way for me to still be able to do RPG stuff, but every now and again sneak in some stuff to satisfy that inner geek in me that's just not all video games. Eventually I will port and move a lot of that stuff to the other channels, to their respective channels, but for now this is where I'm going to keep that. And then Friday, like I said, the news. And then for Saturdays, it's going to be a 12-hour block of the archives, which is going to be shows it's going to be like I had last time, which is I'm going to change the time, which is going to be noon PST, California, Los Angeles time. It's going to be PST, Pacific Coast time, noon to 12 a.m. in the morning. So I did it that way because for me, Saturday's my favorite day. And then also, I try not to do no work on Saturdays. And again, it harkens all the way back to Toonami, how I used to feel on Saturday night watching Midnight Run on Toonami, as well as early in the mornings on Saturdays. Some of my most fondest memories were waking up or going to my grandmother's house who had cable, and I'll wake up, she wake me up and go say, Quincy, go set the VCR, and I set the VCR to tape some Smurfs and then Muppet Babies, and then Pee Wee Herman came on too out here like at 9 and stuff, and then it was just so filled with, I always remember a nostalgic joy, Ninja Turtles, and I always remember a nostalgic joy from Saturday mornings. And then later on in my preteens and teenage years, when anime and stuff came, I always remembered that joy from being able to watch anime and stuff with my homies and stuff. We all come over and watch, or we even camp out sometime and run a court, to a little cul-de-sac or some shit like that. So that right there, I want to, that's one of the reasons why it was such an emphasis for me to do that for 12 hours. And also, if you do anything, that's why jobs give us 90 days to, as like I don't want to say a severance. What am I the word I'm looking for? 90 days to test the market with you to see if you're going to be a good fit. Well, what I have been doing is a 90-day experiment on YouTube with what works and what doesn't. So what I want to do is have enough. The reason why I haven't launched the archives yet, I want to have enough videos for 90 days so that I'll have a proper look and to deep dive into my analytics. I have changed up things a lot, but it's still going to be the same. I did things to kind of coordinate and fit better in with the story of these games. So it's going to be spoilers, of course, because I'm doing a story. But a lot of menu systems and loading screens, I hate a loading screen. I decided not to do loading screens, but to insert Akasha in there as ways to tell people to subscribe. I'm also, none of people hate GameStop. I actually am a person I'm not fond of a GameStop's methods all the time, but I don't hate GameStop. I still go to GameStop, and the way Best Buy be treating folks sometimes, you got to go to, and Amazon be missing stuff during sometimes. You got to go to where you can go to get your games and get stuff. I still like the fact that we still have a game store that's all about games. I do miss Toys R Us because that was one of my go-to places for games, even though nobody really ever, it's only a handful of people when you went to Toys R Us or something that they didn't know about games. That always disappointed me. That always pissed me off. But then on the flip side, you go to GameStop, some people you could know more than them, and they get upset at you, or they almost on their high horse trying to tell you about, well, you didn't know that was this, and I'm like, hey, hold on, Henry, chill out, bro. But you know what I mean? Because you go into a game store or something, and you say something, or that comes out today. Oh, well, you didn't know this, and they want to give you the full detail of how much the game, when it was made, how many cylinders the CD has, all this crap. But that's what I'm also. I became recently a GameStop affiliate, and I've been an Amazon affiliate for a while. So what I will do is shout out to one of the homies, because he gave me the idea, which was like, why don't you, because I already been using info cards like I was talking about with the shorts and stuff. And he was like, well, he didn't give me the direct idea. This is what he said. I sent him the video of one of the archives videos that's going to go up on the actual archives channel. So on the actual archives channel, I'm not sure when I'm going to put that up. That's going to be the beginning of the year, of next year, or during the holiday season or something. Those are going to be 30-minute videos. So what I did is take the hour-long Saturday ones, and I cut those in half, and then I'm going to put those up on the channel, the archives channel, which y'all can see down there. Put that on the archive channel as 30 minutes a piece. And then it's only going to be like 4 hours a day. So that's also very Toonami-ish too. If y'all remember Toonami in its heyday, for those of y'all that remember that, is you had the Toonami for 3 to 4 hours, or it was actually 2 on the weekdays. And then on Saturdays, it was a long time. So I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to have it where it's like 2 hours on the weekdays, Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday on the main channel, the Geek Show, I'm gonna premiere it, and I'm gonna have them all linked together, and then I'm gonna be here and chop it up with y'all as well. So what I'm going to do there then as well is that's when I'm going to also be on Twitch, because I'm gonna put it almost simulcast it on Twitch as well on Saturday. And since that's, like I said, my chill day, relaxed day, I'm gonna be doing that, and I'm gonna, got some stuff with the podcast I'll do and record and stuff with some friends, playing games and talking. So everything is what I'm saying is I'm been utilizing time, because time is more precious and more of a commodity than money, which it doesn't seem like it, but it really is. So be able to utilize as much time in the multitask into doing one thing and then recreating works, like taking different clips and then reprising those clips to different formats. Anyway, I'm getting too much into the nitty gritty of the behind the scenes with that. But that's the reason why I wanted that to be on Saturdays. And I am going to be putting the affiliate links in, because, I'm sorry. That's what the homie was saying. He said that I showed him one of the 30 minutes, which is only like 22 minutes, bumpers and stuff, of the Last of Us, the Live a Live. And he liked it so much, he sent me a picture like, look what you made me do. I went out there and bought the game. So it did, boom, it hit me. And that's when it hit me. And that's when I decided to use the info cards to put the actual game in on an info card. So then if you do want to buy the game, you can click it. Also, that will help with some of the marketing things I've already been doing as well. Not only with my own merchandise as well too, but also as promotions and promos and things to get review codes and other stuff for other people. I'm going to do my best not to spam anybody, because I know we all hate commercials already. I personally, for YouTube, about 4 years ago, been playing for YouTube Premium for about 4 years. So I don't experience commercials on that. Now on Akasha's account, because that's my, my other account I test stuff on, I have seen some commercials, and so I know where the commercial breaks and stuff are and how they can be ugly. On each episode, just for your information, is for what each episode from the 30 minutes and the hour, I personally go in and I break down the commercial breaks and stuff, and I put specified bumpers and stuff for them for that, so I won't overly spam it. If anything I do when it comes to a commercial or it's a paid commercial, you'll know it. And then what I'll do is something very funny, because one of my favorite people who do it when they put their commercials is Woods from Beat 'Em Up. He makes you want to buy and watch what he's talking about, because he goes through a full skit when he's like advertising something. So I like that format of things. So I will do something very similar to that. But I will have an info card up for the games that you can purchase and just click through there through Amazon or through GameStop and stuff like that. But I feel like I've been talking for 2 hours. I could have did a damn podcast here and now, which I might get on because I already got the stuff written down. I just wanted to get on here and talk to y'all though, because I felt like I hadn't been on here for forever. And again, I didn't want to edit the video that I was about to do. So I didn't want to edit that video right now. So I was like, let me get on here. This is a perfect time to chop it up. Now, I do got to find what I'm going to do with a thumbnail. But, that's neither here nor there. But, y'all, if you made it this far and you like what you see, video-wise, you know what to do. Hit that like button. It lets YouTube know that you like it, and when the algorithm knows you like it, they send it and put it in front of other people. And if you're new to the channel, you want to stay up to date with all things games, entertainment, anime, and comedy in some form or fashion. I think I'm slick. I'm kind of slick. Make sure you subscribe. I make geekly content here on the channel now, Monday through Friday, and And as always in the web, remember to eat, sleep, geek, repeat. Holler at y'all later. And take care of yourselves. It's crazy out there. Peace.